Good morning, this is Deepak. Make a decision to practice good values in life. A life without values is not worth living. Mahatma Gandhi ji had values in his life which he never compromised. And because of him and his values, we are living in a free country. My talk today is about values. Comedian Fred Allen said, "You only live once, but if you work it right, once is enough." How can people work it right? By knowing their values and living by them every day. Do that. You will have few regrets at the end of your life. Here are some suggestions to help you get started. List every admirable character quality you can think of. Add new ideas that come to you. Add them to the list. Do some reading if you want to stir up your thinking. Maybe you must have written 25-30 values on a piece of paper, but you can't possibly live on 20 or 50 values. So start eliminating some. Think about what you would be willing to live for, to die for. Start eliminating anything that's superficial or temporary. True life change begins when you decide to change your value system, because it is foundational to everything you do. Pat Williams once said that when Roy Disney was asked about secret of Disney's success, he used to say that the company was managed by values which led to ease in good decision making. The same is true for an individual. Albert Einstein advised, "Try not to become man of success, rather become man of value," because he knew that having values keeps a person focused on important things. If you focus on values, success is likely to follow. Managing your life according to your values isn't easy, because your values will be tested daily by those who do not embrace them. Negative people may discount you when you display a positive attitude. Unteachable people won't understand your dedication to personal growth. And those whose priorities are different from yours will try to convince you to follow them or make unwise compromises. To become better at embracing and practicing your values every day, I would advise you to follow certain guidelines. Once you have created your list of values, write a descriptive statement for each one, explaining how you intend to apply it to your life and what benefit or direction that will bring. As you go through your day and face decisions, measure your choices against your values. Stu Leonard, the president of grocery store chain Steve Leonard, says that he continually verbalizes the value of the company's customers. "We don't see customers the way you do," he says. "Our people imagine each of our customer with a $50,000 tattooed on their forehead. How is that? It's simply a matter of mathematics. $100 average amount each customer spends per week into 50 number of weeks per year customer shops his store into 10 average number of years residents live in the city, and that equals to 50,000, the value of each customer. When you embrace your values wholeheartedly and articulate them continually, you dramatically increase your chances of living them. The gap between knowing and doing is significantly greater than the gap between ignorance and knowledge. A person who identifies and articulates his values but doesn't practice them is like a salesman who makes a promise to a customer and then fails to deliver. He has no credibility. In business, the result is that the person loses his job. In life, the person loses his integrity. In 1995, Girish Shah, an assistant controller of a Fortune 500 company, was charged with embezzling $988,000 from company over 8-year period. He pleaded no contest in the court. The CEO of the company was outraged. To court officials he wrote, "In view of Mr. Shah's crime as particularly egregious, he breached the fiduciary duty placed in him by the company and his supervisors." You know what was ironic about this statement? It was made by CEO Dennis Kozlowski, the man later charged with looting $600 million in the same company with the help of 2 other executives. Evidently, this disconnection between his stated values and his practice was a pattern. Discrepancies between values and practices create chaos in a person's life. If you talk your values but neglect to walk them, then you will continually undermine your integrity and credibility. Many people get into trouble when their values and their feelings collide. You are feeling good and everything is going your way. It's not difficult to consistently live your values. However, when your values determine you should take an action that will hurt you or cost you something, it can be harder to follow through. If one of your values is integrity and you found a bag of money on the street that you suspected was stolen, you probably wouldn't have too difficult a time turning the money to the police. But if you saw your boss stealing from the company you work for and you knew that calling attention it would get you fired, that choice would be more difficult, especially if you knew that losing your job might cost you your house or ruin you financially. Successful people do what's right no matter how they feel about it. If good health is one of your values, you need to exercise even though you don't feel like doing it in the morning. To conclude my talk, I would like to quote Norman Vincent Peale, the famous author of The Power of Positivity. He said, "Nice guys may appear to finish last, but usually they are running a different race. living by your values is running in a different race. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my talk. Have a good day.